What's up, guys? We've got a new tool here at Stokastic.com. It is going to be a simulation tool, but for people who do stuff like hand build lineups, maybe play single entry, it's going to be a single lineup simulator. So what you could do here is you build a single lineup and then you simulate it and you see what the expected ROI is of that lineup. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you could use it, and then also some little tips of other data that I use on the website in coordination with the MLB single lineups and tell me build some better lineups. So first, let's start here by pulling it up on screen. And if you could do me a favor, like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. So you go here to the MLB single lineup simulator. And what you're going to see here on screen is how you're going to build your lineup here. Now, there's a bunch of different options that are within here to help you customize your lineup. Most importantly, stuff like what site are you playing on? So you see in here, it supports DraftKings, FanDuel, as well as Owner's Box. I'll just put on DraftKings for now for the lineup I'm going to build. And then also it supports any of the slates that our other simulation tools support. It's also going to be supported within here. So you'll see that there's the main slate on DraftKings, there's the turbo slate, there's the night slate. You can build lineups for any of those and simulate it within these. Then also you make a selection here. Are you playing this in a small contest or a large contest? And pretty simple here. Does the contest have less than 1,000 entries in it, or does it have more? So if you're building something for a single entry, that's typically for baseball going to be less than 1,000 lineups. In large field tournaments, you're talking about like the big $15, $5, $18, whatever the buying level is for the day, the big flagship contest on DraftKings. You'd be selecting a large contest for this. Just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to select small contests. We'll build a lineup that we would be playing here in a single entry. And then percentage to first, this is just going to depend on whatever the percentage first is in the contest you're playing. So if it's something that has, $100,000 prize pool and it's $25,000 to first, that would be 25%. I'm just going to put it on 20% from now. Now, here's the first place I like to start when I'm building a single entry lineup or just hand building one lineup for a GPP is I go over to our top stacks tool here on Stokastic. And also, if you sign up for any of our data packages or our Sims package, this tool is included within it. So if you don't want to sign up for the full Sims package, just want a data package, you're still going to get access to the MLB single lineup simulator tool. But let's look at the top stacks tool for today and see which teams are coming up towards the top here. It'll be loaded up in a second. Yeah, so you'll see here that we have three teams pulling 10% ownership or more, or sorry, three teams with a 10% or better chance of being the top scoring stack on the slate. And none of these teams are like too crazy popular or anything. So let's build a lineup here around the San Francisco Giants. They got a good matchup against Patrick Corbin. They've got about a 12% chance to be the top stack that is in line with their ownership, but at the same time, too, really good value. Right, this is a team with a 14.3% chance to be the top value stack on the slate. So we do have a leverage score, which includes teams' odds of being a top value stack, as well as their top stack odds relative to their ownership, and says, is this team overowned, underowned, appropriately owned? And we have the Giants as being a little bit underowned on the slate. So let's build the Giants stack going up against Patrick Corbin. And then also, since they're cheap, we don't have to worry too much about the pitchers. So we're probably going to be able to just play the best pitchers on the slate with the San Francisco Giants. So one thing that you could do here that's going to make it easier for you to pick just players from the team you want is, and you could scroll over to see the rest of the teams here. Let's just click on the Giants Nationals game. And let's start looking at some of the best projected players at each position. You also see in here that once teams are confirmed their lineup, their players are going to show up green. Then if you click on another team here, like this Astros Rangers game where we have the Rangers confirmed lineup, but not the Astros confirmed lineup, you'll instead see the probable line, which is what we're projecting for the slate. But let's go over to the Giants. And all right, Patrick Bailey batting 7th. Let's try to focus on hitters towards the top of the lineup for this. All right, so Casey Schmidt, and we'll sort by projection as well. Casey Schmidt, he is hitting 5th, I should say. We're going to plug him in. And then you'll see here that when players have MP, like Casey Schmidt, he's second base or shortstop, you could choose where you want to put him in. Let's put him in at second base for now. If we want to change it afterwards, we could certainly do that. And there's different ways you could sort these players as well. You could sort them by projection, by ownership, by salary, by value. For now, when we're building the stack, we'll sort it by projection. And later on, we need to sort and maybe find value in another position and look for a cheap hitter to plug in. Then we'll look for value. But for now, just going to sort by projection. Third base, let's plug in Matt Chapman. Shortstop, see Casey Schmidt. He is blurred out here, or grayed out, because we've already put him in the lineup, so you can't select him again. Let's go Tyler Fitzgerald. So we've got the 1, 4, 5 hitters. And now let's just plug in the 2 outfielders from the Giants that projected best. And that is Mark Canha as well as Jerar Encarnacion. So we've got a lineup here, 5-man stack of the San Francisco Giants. So let's go back and have all the players selected. The easiest way to do it is you just click all matchups, and that'll change your selected players here from just players from the individual game to all of the players available on the slate. And let's plug in our pitchers now. We've got Tyler Glass now. He's going to be very popular today, 54% projected ownership. But you can see there's a massive projection gap between him and everybody else. So let's plug him in, and then let's just plug in Aaron Nola as well. Projected as the second best starting pitcher on the slate. You can see here we've got $5,400 in average remaining salary for our players, as well as $21,600 in overall remaining salary. So it doesn't look like pitching salary is going to be all that much of an issue for us when you consider that we made a cheap stack in the Giants. So let's plug in Aaron Nola. And then you'll see we've got an average of $4,267 for our remaining 3 spots. So catcher, I usually like to punt with catcher when I'm building some smaller field GPP lineups. It's a spot that's kind of hard to get production out of. I don't mind punting at it. So let's just see who the best value is at catcher. We've got Chucky Robinson here. We've got Christian Bethancourt. Projected very similarly, 4.95 fantasy points projected for Robinson, 4.94 for Bethancourt. Let's just click on Robinson here. Now let's go to first base. And we'll just sort by projection. We'll plug in Ohtani, put him in at first. Now when you go to outfield, there's something that you could do here that is going to make it easier to find your players, which I always leave on. It's just show affordable players. So this is already turned on for me. If you have it turned off, it's going to show all of the players on the slate. But if you have it selected to only show the affordable players, now the available players to fill in this last lineup spot, it's only going to show you the players that fit within the salary constraints. So just an easy way to sort by the available players. So let's just click on Miguel Andujar here. He is, let's see, 6% owned, $3,900, project for 8.9 fantasy points. So pretty good value here on Miguel Andujar. We'll just plug him in. And then you'll see no results found because there's nothing else that fits into our line. We've already built a full one. So what you do from here is you click Run Lineup Simulation. And what's happening here is the slate is now being simmed on a play-by-play basis, more than a handful of times, tens of thousands of times. And it's going to go really quick, and it's going to show you some data on your lineup. So you see here for a small contest, this lineup has a 35.8% simulated ROI. It's going to cash 32.6% of the time. Keep in mind that in most of these small field, or I shouldn't say necessarily just small field, but even large field tournaments, when you're talking about GPPs, it's only like 18 to 20% of lineups cash. So well above average here. This is going to come in the top 10. This is not top 10 percentile of the contest. It's actually top 10 in a contest that has about 1,000 lineups, expected to come in the top 10, 7% of the time. And then it's going to come in first 0.5% of the time. So this is good information to know in terms of have you built a profitable lineup or not. And as long as the simulated ROI is positive, we are projecting that to be a positive lineup. So one thing you may run into is maybe you build a lineup and it comes away with like a negative 16% simulated ROI or negative 10% or something. And whenever you see a lineup that is negative, what you should do is then go clear the lineup and rebuild it, which is really easy to do. You just clear the lineup by pressing that button, and then you've got a fresh slate. You can build the lineup from scratch, and you can tinker around with this and see like, all right, what kind of adjustments can I make to that lineup? And then re-simulate it to then get a positive ROI expected lineup. So a really fun tool to use. Also, this is something that should be making our Sims tools accessible to everybody. So you don't have to be somebody who is playing 150 lineups and using our other Sims tool. We're building a contest pool of 10,000 lineups or anything like this. This is perfect for people who only play 1, 2, 3 lineups, just want to hand build a few of them in here, or for somebody who plays single entry. I think it's a great tool for those kinds of players as well. So if you have any questions, let me know down below in the comment section. It's a really easy tool to use. It probably builds lineups pretty similarly to how you already do on FanDuel or DraftKings, but now you're just getting some added information about whether that lineup is expected to be profitable or not. If you haven't done yet, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and enjoy our new MLB single lineup simulation tool.